Well, we got Rosie all loaded up. She's got 8 days worth of dog food, some mosquito repellent, and her life jacket for when we float down the river. This is our gear here. Tracy's just getting everything tied onto her pack. It's about 10 o'clock or close to it, and we're at the North Fork of the Blackfoot Trailhead. We're hoping to make it a couple miles past the cabin, which is about 6 miles up there as I recollect. It could be a little further or shorter, so looks like we're gonna have a little bit of company back there. There's half a dozen cars or so. It's supposed to maybe rain this afternoon, and then it's supposed to be a pretty nice week, so we're getting excited. I don't think we'll be floating that today. Half hour or so we'll come across the nice one. Looks a little swampy in front of us, but down there about a half a mile or so it looks like it may have a camp spot or two. Well, we made it to camp at about 4:30. Got the teepee set up. It's pretty dense in here, but the spot we picked is pretty level, and set up our picnic area over here. This is where we had supper about 20 minutes ago, and we're going to get things kind of gathered up, and then we're going to go hang the food for the night. And it's pretty chilly. It's probably only about 55 or so. I'm going to start up the stove and probably hit the hay pretty soon after that. Got a nice creek here. This is still the North Fork of the Blackfoot. We're on Dwight Creek Trail goes this way. But this is the extent as far as we're going to go up Dwight Creek. So tomorrow I got to carry Tracy across the creek again, I guess, and then trail is about 100 yards through that brush there, and we will be heading down to Danaher Meadows. Day 2, and we're on the trail back over above Tracy's head there. That's Dwight Creek, and we slept over here about a half a mile back there on a nice spot. So today we're hoping to make it to the Danaher Meadows. Should be about 7 or 8 miles is all, so shouldn't be too bad. Got rained down pretty good last night. Looks like it could rain again today, but we'll be prepared.
We've hit the bottom mark wilderness now.
Yeah, we were in the scapegoat before. Finally in the Bob Marshall. They consider this a divide up here. It's a pretty flat divide. Off to the right, all the water flows to the south, and off to the left, all the water flows to the north. We're here on Danaher Creek, and what we're looking at here is the Danaher Meadows. I think what they actually call the meadows is down probably another mile towards the end of all the green aspens down there. But it's pretty impressive. It's a big area with no pine trees on it, that's for sure. Made it to the actual meadows part of Danaher Meadows, and it's crazy to think that a group of people, I think it was several families, but I could be wrong, I don't know the history completely, likely I think it was over 100 years ago, brought all this equipment up here and farmed and homesteaded up here for a number of years. This is just the remnants of what they brought up in here, and it must have been all brought in by stock. We're probably 25 miles from the closest road is my best guess, but not 100% certain of the mileage. But anyways, it's just crazy to think that they were able to come up here and they eked out a living for I don't know how many years. It was several as far as I understand. So it goes to show that people of yesteryear, at least most of them, were probably a lot hardier than we are today. But pretty neat to see that this stuff's still up here. Well, we just finished up with supper on the second night. We're at the Danaher Meadows. A nice walk this afternoon after we got camp set up. Tracy's over there gathering a little bit of wood. I was getting things cleaned up. This is where we had supper tonight. Supper table right down there on the ground. Pretty soon we're going to go over here, and I don't think you can probably see it, but there's a string hanging from a tree over there about 100 yards. Going to hang the food, and that's where we have the tent set up for the evening. So it's been a good day. It never did rain on us, and tomorrow we'll probably make it to the place where we can possibly put in the boats. That they have a large portion of this, somebody's going to be on there now, of the wilderness wired with this old-time phone. I guess it goes down to the Condon, Big Fork, and Swan Lake ranger stations, but doesn't look like anybody's calling us back. You have to twist that little knob, it makes that funny noise, but it'd been kind of cool to get somebody on the horn to see how it actually worked. But anyways, just thought we'd show you another kind of a unique thing. It's pretty old. Well, we're at the very north end of the Danaher Meadows, and this is Danaher Creek here. Alloy Creek, I guess, is across that way according to this sign. The creek looks like it's big enough to float at this point, but we went down and did a little scouting last night, and it oxbows back to the left and against this far mountain over here, according to the map, pretty hard. So not knowing exactly what it's like over there. If we did have to exit, the trees and all this brush would make it pretty hard to get back to the trail. So we're kind of wimping out at this point. We're going to go down about 5 more miles and check it out to see. We're about a 20-minute hike down from the north end of the Danaher Meadows, and our decision not to float was probably a good one. There's definitely enough water flow to float, but as you can see down there, there's some pretty good snags, which that's to be expected, but in this one little area, I don't think the camera will completely show it. There's about a half a dozen we'd have had to go over, so I think we made a wise choice, and hopefully down below there won't be quite as many snags. Well, this is where we ended up on the afternoon of day 3. Off to my right over here, you can't see it unfortunately, but is Jumbo Mountain, and it's about 7 o'clock at night. We're gonna go get the food down from the tree. We went and looked at the river, tried to do a little fishing. Tracy caught one, and then tomorrow we'll take off. Well, it's the morning of July 3rd. It's our 4th day. Down below us down here is the Danaher River, creek I guess it is. And then that notch up there on the other side is where Young's Creek flows in. So we'll probably be getting in either right before Young's Creek on the rafts or at Young's Creek. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. So another gorgeous day. Well, we're about a mile above where Young's Creek enters into Danaher, and we've elected to go ahead and get ready and start our floating trip. So first thing we need to do is get everything blown up, the raft's blown up, gear put back in our packs, put the packs on front of the rafts and get in the water. So Rosie's pretty excited, Tracy's nervous, and I'm getting pretty excited and a little nervous myself. So here's where we're going to be getting in, right here. Nice entry point. And wish us luck. Oh. A couple mules just walked by. Not sure where they're coming or going, but we're getting pretty close to hopping in the river. I got my raft all blown up. Tracy's got hers. We're getting things all lined up here and gonna be ready to go soon. Tracy's got her river pants on there. She's loaded for bear.
Go, come on.
All right, well, we got everybody loaded up. Rosie's in there. We got the packs on the pack. A little nervous, never had the packs on the pack and rode before, but I think it should be fine. Tracy's gonna go ahead and step in there, show us how it's done. I'm gonna do the same. And then we're gonna be heading down to Danaher. Tracy's gonna get her serious face on.
I think I'll look too bad compared to what we
We'll probably pull a Levi and just skirt to the right. Hey Rosie, you doing good? Rosie hasn't fallen out of the boat yet, which is a good thing.
Mom threw her out one.
Tracy threw her out one time to check out the life jacket. Seemed like it worked. Today is July 4th. It's about 11:15 in the afternoon. We got the rafts all loaded up. Rosie's got her life jacket on, and we are gonna head down the river. Day 2 on the river. We're about 2 miles up above Big Prairie, and we're hoping to make it down to the White River. Had a little bit of lunch, put on some more sunscreen, got all the water out of our rafts, and now we're getting ready to head down. We probably still have about 5 more miles before we're going to make camp tonight. So the South Fork River has definitely been a fun river. It's not a lazy river. I was hoping it would be. So it's been a good trip so far. Here we are at camp on night 5, still July 4th. Got off the river about 4 o'clock. Went out and did a little bit of fishing, caught about a half a dozen. And we're gonna have macaroni and cheese. We've been saving that for the whole trip, so I think I might have had some whiskey that I stashed in my pack too. So it's been a great day floating, and we're gonna take off tomorrow, and hopefully we'll make it to Spotted Bear. Okay. We're just about 10 minutes upriver from the Pack Bridge that goes over to Salmon Lake, and we just came through this rock field here, boulder field. Crazy whitewater. It doesn't look like much, but kind of got us unexpected. So it was a good trip. We had to stop and dump out the rafts that are full of water and get our glasses clean. I think it's the first time in the trip I've been splashed in the face. So things are going well. Well, this is where we ended up the afternoon of day 6. That's Black Bear Pack Bridge. We got a pretty good set of rapids that we'll deal with in the morning, but we had a nice day of floating. It's hot, must be almost 90 degrees. It's pretty warm. Got the teepee set up over here in some shade for the time being, and we're probably going to go for a little hike here shortly. July 6th, and it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're about an hour up, I believe, from our takeout point, Meadow Creek. So it's been a great trip so far. We're almost to the end of it. Our shuttle picks us up tomorrow, so we've got a little bit of time. This afternoon we might go for a hike. But right now we're just stopping for lunch, and then we'll get ready to get back on the river. Well, here we are at the Meadow Creek Gorge. We made it the entire way. Tracy did it without tipping over, and that's even with Rosie in the front. I unfortunately tipped about 10 minutes back, and under the water I went. No big deal, a little wet. The only thing that really got hurt was my pride, but that's okay. So that's the Meadow Creek Gorge right there. You certainly don't go down that this time of the year. And there's a sign right there. But I'll tell you what, by the time you read that sign, if you're not out, you're in bad trouble. So anyways, we've had a wonderful trip. We got a little hike out. I don't think it's too far to the trailhead. They'll pick us up tomorrow, and excited to see the girls and the family. It's been a great trip.
Look at those swells over there on the side.
Yeah, it's really something. So we got out at Mid Creek. That's where we ended our packrafting trip, and hiked down here. I believe we're into what they call the Meadow Creek Gorge, right in front of us here. And boy, that water is really boiling. There's quite a little pack bridge, as you can see, that goes over it. It's pretty impressive.